Hello, my name is James, and welcome to this series of videos about biblical numerics. And the number we're going to start out with is the number 5. And the reason for that is I believe that the number 5 has not been fully understood as far as its biblical meaning goes. I've wanted to make this video for many years now, and finally the time has come. And as you see here, pictured here are 5 smooth stones. And let's get some motivation for why we're going to study the number 5 and its meaning. So let's go with it. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 40. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. So most people know that it only took one stone for David, the name David, 5 letters, to slay Goliath. But yet the Bible literally wants us to know that David chose 5 smooth stones. And there's a reason for that, and that's the purpose of this video. Genesis 18:28. Here's Abraham having a discussion with God about the destruction of Sodom and those other cities, the 5 cities of the plain. And here we go. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And go read it for yourself. You'll see a pattern. It starts with 50 and it goes to 45 and to 40. And finally gets down to 10. If there's 10 righteous, 5 times 2. And we all know the story there. Here, Genesis 43:34. And he, Joseph, took and sent messes unto them from before him, but Benjamin's mess was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. Now Joseph, being one of the greatest types for Jesus Christ in the Old Testament, here gives his brother born of his mother Rachel, 5 times as much as his other brothers. And this pattern continues. Watch Genesis 45:22. To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of raiment. There it is again, the number 5 as related to his little brother Benjamin. And let's go Genesis 47:2. And he, Joseph, took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. So we can see a pattern here with Joseph in the Bible, pointing out the number 5 in the acts of the dealings of Joseph with his brethren and Pharaoh. And that is by design. It is to draw attention to the number. Exodus 26:3. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together, one to another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled, one to another. Now this is the instructions that God gives to Moses about the construction of the tabernacle. So in exploring the number 5, we'll be looking at 5 and its multiples. 5, 10, 15, 50, 500, and that sort of thing. But again, you go look at the construction of the tabernacle, and you'll see the number 5 as being a significant number in that. Okay, now Exodus 27:1. And thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. 5 times 5, 25, or 5 squared. Let's go to the New Testament. Mark chapter 6, where Jesus performs a miracle and feeds 5,000 men and their families. And he saith unto them, how many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they say 5, and 2 fishes. Why 5? What is the significance of the number 5? Again, I'm just going through some verses. This is going to be more of a little bit of motivation why we should even care or study the number 5. Matthew 25, verses 1 through 2. 25, 5 squared. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom, and 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. Matthew 25, 20. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. Here, Revelation 9:5, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. Ultimately, the goal in studying Bible numbers is to come to an understanding of the number 603 score and 6. And we're going to do that systematically. We're going to work our way up to that number. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but we need to understand some of the basic numbers before we can understand a number like 666. And the methodology that we will use is what I'm going to call the 153 methodology. And there's a certain property of this number, a characteristic of this number that we're going to leverage to understand the number. Here I just kind of emphasize the 5 that's in the middle. And this number is found in the 89th chapter of the New Testament, or the final chapter of the Gospels. That'd be the last chapter in the Gospel of John, John chapter 21. And here we go, verses 5 through 6. And later on down the road, I'll do some videos on the 5-6 pattern found in the Bible. Then Jesus saith unto them, Children, have ye any meat? They answered him, No. And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast, therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. John 21, verses 10 through 11. Jesus said unto them, Bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land, full of great fishes, 153. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. I've been fascinated with this verse in this chapter for many years, and later on, as we progress through these Bible numbers and we explore the King James Code, we'll see the multitude of patterns that are found in the Bible, and specifically in this chapter of the Bible. But for now, we're going to just focus on one property of the number 153. The number 153 is what some mathematicians have called a narcissistic number. And I'll just read the definition. A narcissistic number is a number that, as its name might suggest, is full of itself. An n-digit number is narcissistic if the number is equal to the sum of each of its digits to the nth power. 153, for example, is a narcissistic number. This is because it is a 3-digit number, and we can observe that 1 cubed plus 5 cubed plus 3 cubed equals 153. We can very easily name 9 narcissistic numbers. The first 9 positive integers are all narcissistic numbers. Any number to the first power is equal to itself. Now that's a trivial. The first 9 are trivial. The first non-trivial occurrence of a narcissistic number is 153. There are no 2-digit narcissistic numbers. And in fact, there's only 4 3-digit narcissistic numbers, and we'll talk about that later. Now, I want to mention something real quick. The secular world, secular scholars have a view of God, and they want to do a psychological profile on God, and the first thing on their list is they say God is narcissistic. Here's from RichardDawkins.net. Narcissistic, God likes to be praised. If you don't praise him, he will either kill you, send you to hell, or excommunicate you. This suggests a fragile and shallow ego that can't exist without the approval of others. The praise must be elaborate and expensive. It must be constant. Just saying, I like you, God, is not enough, and you have to repeat this praise for your whole life. This whole statement is full of lies, for one, but the point I want to make is the view that many people have, that God is a narcissist. And that extends to his son Jesus. Here, this professor has a video, Psychotic Grandiosity, the Case of Jesus Christ, Narcissist. Right? So they want to claim that God's a narcissist. Now, the word narcissist certainly has a negative connotations to it. So I'm just going to call it self-glory. That's, I think, a better way to put it. And here, Isaiah 42:8, I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Now, if anybody has any right to self-glory or to glory in himself, it is the Creator. It is God. And I'm not even saying that he necessarily does that. I'm just saying that he is a jealous God, and he's not going to give his glory and his praise to anyone else. And the narcissistic or self-glory numbers, is, I think, maybe a better term. Here are the 4 3-digit narcissistic numbers: 153, 370, 371, 407. Now, 3 of the 4 are connected with the number 37 in one way or the other. Here, 370, 37 times 10. 371, not a multiple of 37, but contains the 37. And 407 is 37 times 11. 37 being the 12th prime number, and the number 11 being the 5th prime number. I'm going to do a video on the number 11, and the number 5 is just a stepping stone to get to the number 11. And if there's a number that I'm more excited to do than the number 5, it's the number 11, because I want to clear up some misunderstandings about that number as well. But the point I want to make here is these are the 4 narcissistic numbers. And let's look at Psalm 40, verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come, in the volume of the book it is written of me. And of course, that's speaking of Jesus. And I'm going to end the video here. Again, this is just an introduction of why we should care about the number 5. And the main reason we should care about the number 5 is that the name Jesus, both in the Greek, as it is shown here, is the first occurrence of the name Jesus as found in Matthew 1, verse 1, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. 5 letters. And of course, in the English, it's consistently 5 letters, the name Jesus. In the Greek, you'll see it show up with 6 letters. It'll be, sometimes it's 5 letters, sometimes it's 6. Again, well, the 5-6 pattern found in the Bible. It's found in the Greek, it's found in the English, probably found in the Hebrew. I have not necessarily explored that, but I'm real excited about this series of videos, and I look forward to making the next video, and hopefully I can get that done soon. Bye-bye for now.